episode number 5 of the road to 1050. All my training works in waves, so this week was actually a new wave. I usually work in like 3-week waves. So every 3 weeks I like to switch stuff up just so I'm not doing the exact same exercises, I'm not doing the exact same rep ranges, all that good stuff. So this week everything is a little bit different. I started off with same kind of outline with the rep work for bench, except I lowered it to 8 reps, still stayed at 5 sets of 8, and I hit a PR on that of 125. And like I said, I like to keep the same themes, so instead of doing the neutral grip incline, I did some dumbbell floor pressing just to get a more overload here. And I also, I try to keep things very similar. I like the way the workouts are structured, so I like to keep things relatively, like exercises similar that can kind of be swapped out. But again, we did 3 sets of 20 here, higher rep. Third thing I did was incline dumbbell flies for 3 sets of 15. I have not done incline flies in forever, and one thing I like about the kind of doing this style of training is that, like, I come from the bodybuilding physique background, like that's how I train starting off, and this allows me to kind of throw those things in here just for like overall chest development and just rehab, prehab stuff. Onto the shoulder part of the workout, I wanted to do the pec deck and do rear flies on that, but someone was on that, so I actually switched it to doing the cross cable rear flies, and I did 3 sets of 30 here. Then the last thing that I actually filmed was doing side raises on the side lateral machine, and I have not used this machine since I was like back in college, and I forgot how much I really liked it, so I did 4 sets of 20 here. And that was just about it. That was basically the whole workout. The only other thing I did after that was I did a standing overhead press with a barbell after all that. But that was the shoulder and chest day of the new wave. With our speed work for lower, we kind of ran with the same box squat, but instead of just keeping it the same weight, what we did instead was we actually upped the band tension. So we had a green, the Monster Mini and the Mini band attached, and we did our speed work to a box. And I really like the box just because it helps me just kind of visualize and like mentally know where I need to be at depth-wise. And we did our standard 12 sets, 12 doubles here with the extra band tension. This, honestly, with the band setup at the very top, it's probably an extra 70, 75-ish pounds if I had to guess. After we did the speed work, we worked up to an 8 rep max with the double bands on there. Both of us hit PRs on that. I didn't actually record my set. I got Laura's set because she did 135 for the 8, but I did 165, and I forgot to record mine. Then we decided to go heavy on some block pulls, and we did it conventional, which I am awful at. And we were gonna go heavy here, so we were shooting for a 1 to 3 rep max from this block pull, and we did it from yellow plates, bumper plates, which are the quarters. And I pulled, I pulled 315 for 1, and looking back at this, it really didn't look that bad, but it felt absolutely awful. And Laura pulled 185 for 3. So then after that, we did some stiff leg deadlifts versus bands for a 10 rep max, which was great. That was awful. That's probably one of the worst things I've done. It's definitely different. I haven't done anything like that before versus a band this heavy. We did them, I think we actually did these at the beginning of the last block, but we didn't use the Monster Minis. We used the Minis, which are the red bands, but we upped the band tension to the green ones today. Just some standard back extensions, nothing crazy. I like throwing these in every now and then, especially to help out with my lower back, just because I feel like that's what collapses a lot, and I can feel that's where I need to build up some strength at, especially for my squats. And after that, we just did some more hamstring stuff and some ab stuff, and that was it.
big city, in this big city. I found myself alone in this big city, in this big city. I feel safe around skyscrapers. She got that soul that lives to breathe nature. She's this angel, I'm the dream chaser. Let's be real. Let's be real, yeah.
Laura wasn't here for this one, but it was just me, and this guy that I had spotting me, I told him that, like, I'm gonna go for 3. If I get 3 easy, like, we'll just rack it, and I'm gonna add some more weight, and I'll have you spot me on the next one. But I don't know what part of that really didn't stick with him. But I got my 3, and I went to rack it, and he basically, like, he stopped me from racking the bar and was like, come on, you got 2 more. I'm like, I'm not trying to max out on rep work here. So whatever. And then he ended up, I kept trying to rack it, and this guy just wouldn't let me rack it. And needless to say, I'm probably not gonna have him spot me again. But I ended up hitting it for 5. I'm gonna guess 5 because he never took his hands off the bar, and just overall not a great spotter. But we still made it work, so I just ran my rep work off of assuming that I got 5 by myself, which actually turned out to be pretty well because the weight felt right where it needed to feel at when I was doing the rep work. So I think it's safe to say that I could get 5 with that by myself. Just to start hitting the triceps from here on out, I did the exact same thing, left the board on there, and did close grip work versus the bands there wasn't a rep max out, but it was just 3 sets of 10. After the close grip, I brought back the old JM press. It felt much better this time around doing them, now that I know what I was, now that I'm starting to get a little bit more confidence with this movement. But it took me forever to get used to this, just because it felt so weird. Again, we did 3 sets of 10, keeping the volume relatively high, but not anything crazy high like my chest days where I'm doing 3 sets of 20 and 3 sets of 30. And then the last thing that I filmed was these rolling tricep extensions, which I know I've shown in some of the videos before, but not a lot of people do them, and I like it just because it forces me to come to a complete dead stop with the extensions, and then I use it more as an explosive movement to just explode with everything into my triceps and get that weight off the floor. And after that, I just finished out with some more tricep stuff and some basically shoulder mobility stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I tried to include a little bit more of like the assistance work that I do and the other exercises that, like, I know you guys have been asking for, and I haven't done a real great job just because I don't want, I don't know, I don't want each day to be like 45 minutes long while I'm trying to run through and explain everything. But how was that? More assistance work, or was this good length, or what do you think? Love your feedback. Appreciate you watching. I will see you next week in number 6, I think. Yeah, I think next week's is number 6, and that will be the halfway point through this bench block.